I like a pocket fixed blade over a folding pocket knife because it's stronger, less likely to fail, easier to keep clean. But are there any good tactical or self-defense options that fit in your pocket? Let's find out. Hey everyone, David C. Anderson here, coming at you from the KnifeCenter, and I've got a table full of knives in front of me that would fall into the tactical genre. You could use them in defensive or utilitarian roles as a tool, of course. But why are they all fixed blades? Well, the advantage of a fixed blade over a folder, as I mentioned at the beginning, reliability is a big caveat there, or a big advantage there, and that's something that's even more important when it comes to something that you might be betting your life on, so to speak. But a lot of people might find it hard to carry one of these knives in one of the more typical fashions, like inside the waistband, concealed, or even bigger on your belt and more visible. Which is why in the regular EDC space, pocket fixed blades have been absolutely taking off over the last few years. And thankfully, some of the tactical makers out there have kind of caught on to this and are designing some really good options that can be deployed from your pocket. And that's why I've got all the knives in front of me in their sheaths still, because all of this comes down to how well the sheaths are designed, is how well it works as a pocket tactical fixed blade. Let's start out with a few kind of old school OG options here that were like pocket fixed blades before pocket fixed blades were cool, and that's because the belt attachments that these knives come with happen to also work well incidentally as pocket attachments. You'll see what I mean. Let's start with the Benchmade SOCP Dagger. This is the original with the 3.22-inch blade. There's also a smaller version. These are running about $125 nowadays, made in the USA, single piece of 440C steel, double-edged, so quite vicious when you need to be, but still utilitarian when you need it 99.9% of the rest of the time. And a very narrow sheath, so it doesn't take up a ton of room in the pocket. And it has this belt clip here that works well as a pocket clip. It's got a retention hook at the bottom, so when it is in the belt, it's not going to come out with the knife, but that works quite well in the pocket also. Really nice option right here, no matter which of the versions you choose. There's even a trainer if you want to get a little trainee with it, which is kind of advisable, don't you think? And the hook on the end, make sure it has a very secure hold in the hand when you are wielding it. Next up is the K-Bar TDI series of knives. It comes with the TDI belt clip, which is a very broad belt clip, as you can see right here. Also comes with a retention hook right there. This does clip nicely into the pocket. It is fairly broad on the outside, so it's not as subtle, and you've got a lot of handle sticking out, of course, as well. But it fits in there, so it's very comfortable in the pocket, so it's not jabbing you inside the waistband, and it's very easy to grab and pull and deploy when you're ready. And it's a very easy knife to use effectively as well. Because of this extreme angle on the blade, it points very naturally. It's kind of, almost a push dagger, which we'll get to that in a second. $67 for these nowadays. The steel here, I believe, is still AUS 8. About 3.2 ounces for the knife, designed by the late John Benner, who only recently passed, unfortunately for all of us, but a very effective design and ambidextrous as well. Just like the SOCP we looked at, this will flip around to either side, so you can carry it either way. Also, you could wield it inverted if you like, but it really is designed for upright carry. Next up, a push dagger. The Cold Steel SafeMaker 2. The sheath has, well, it's technically not integral. It is a separate piece, but is an injection molded belt clip with a retention hook. Again, works great in the pocket. You've got the T-handle sticking out the top. Grab and go. And just like the TDI series of knives, it points very naturally. You've got a double-edged blade here. The steel on this is AUS 8 as well. Basically chisel ground with a concave backside, which might help with some suction issues. Maybe a little less utilitarian than the TDI knife. This is a very useful all-around blade shape, but still, you could get work done when you need work to be done. $39 for this knife. Next up, and this is stretching the pocket ability just a little bit. In fact, this will probably be too big for some out there, but the Spyderco Street Beat Lightweight comes with Spyderco's G-clip right here with a retention hook on the bottom. Works well in the belt, clips well in the pocket, but it is fairly wide. If you like a more surreptitious option here, there's ways you can adapt sheaths like this with very popular accessory, the Ulti clip right here. And this is a phenomenal device. It's a little harder to use without being clipped to something for pocket carried sheaths of any sort, whether it's for knives or anything else. You slip it in, position it where you want, and then you clamp it down, and then the sheath does not move around. It is locked in place. And because you're dealing with 2 slots and it comes with attachment hardware, pretty much no matter what the hole pattern on your sheath happens to be, you'll be able to find a spot that the Ulti clip will work. But back to the Street Beat. It's about 127 bucks nowadays, designed by Fred Perrin. Very effective as a self-defensive option. You got a very aggressive finger groove right here for protection. A 3.5-inch clip point blade, VG10 steel, very aggressive, but very utilitarian. And I tend to like things that cross over into that utilitarian nature quite a bit because it makes more sense for most people. It is very useful as a knife, but it could also get pokey and aggressive when you need it to. There's a bigger version of the Street Beat as well. That's even less pocket friendly than the lightweight, but you'd have to decide whether this looks like it's too much for your pocket or not. Got something slimmer here now. Let's move into some more modern designs, or more modern releases, I should say. There's 2 clip options that are very similar that we've been seeing crop up lately, which are these. It is basically a clip that works as a pocket clip or a belt clip. You've got the retention hook on the bottom. This one right here with a little humanoid torso, that is discrete carry concepts. And then this X, if you see that, that's an Apex Arc 1 series clip. Both of them are pretty darn similar in their execution. Let me show you a knife with a discrete carry option here. This right here is the Stroup Knives MK2. More of a small batch creation as opposed to mass production. The price is higher as a result as well, $329 or almost $330 for this. You got a 4-inch blade in 1095, very pokey and aggressive, thick here so that it's got some strength, and the back edge right here is not quite sharpened, even though it looks like it is. It's kind of a more obtuse angle as opposed to an acute one right there, but you could lickety split that up real quick for some extra penetration. The whole thing sits very nicely in the pocket due to how narrow that sheath is, and these taco style sheaths as opposed to a pancake style sheath, they do tend to be more compact because you've only got rivets going down one side, of course. But yeah, feels really nice. You're definitely locked in to the handle design right there, thanks to the hook here at the back. Because of that, larger hands might have harder problems with this. I have slightly larger than average hands. I'm either a large or an extra large glove, depending on what company it is. And I do feel a tiny bit cramped. I've got like just barely not enough room in here. I could still make it work, but it definitely is not the most comfortable for me. So keep that in mind. Next up, we have the RMJ Gym Rat, a hawkbill shaped knife, as you can see right here, with a very slim sheath with that Apex Ace 1, did I say Ace 1? Arc 1, sorry, style clip right there. Now this is designed with this barbell here at the back to act as a bead, and that's actually your index finger spot to grab. So the idea is grab that with your index finger, yank it out of the sheath, and then you are perfectly set up for that inverted karambit style of martial arts, although you don't have the ring to complete the karambit thing there at the top. But that's what you're dealing with here. US made again, Nitro V steel on this one, $185, very vicious. Utilitarian enough at small boxy stuff, but the hawkbill blade is definitely more purpose built in this case for self-defense. Although if you're cutting a lot of rope throughout the day, this could be really good. If you like cutting a lot of pallet straps, getting in under those on a shipment and popping it loose works really well for that also. Tops Knives also has kind of their own version of that style of clip. It doesn't have a name, but it's similar. It is longer, as you can see, so you could fit a really wide gun belt with this, if that is what you're rocking. But again, also works great in the pocket right there. This is the El Pionero, designed by Ed Calderon, and is based on a modified paring knife that he used when he was fighting the Mexican cartels. He's a law enforcement officer, and Tops put a version of that into production in collaboration with him. It's about 168 bucks, 1095 carbon, very acute tip, very pokey, very deft and agile. You got a cut here on the back of the handle, gives a nice place for the thumb to rest when you're maneuvering said knife. Can you tell I'm not actually martially trained? I thought so, but I take it from the experts who tell me it works very, very well. And again, a very sizable amount of knife, about 3.4 inches of blade, with enough handle sticking out of the pocket so that it's not surreptitious, but it's easy to access. And again, nice and narrow in the pocket. Very cool knife. Next up, Boker. This is their Sigurd knife, but before I get to that, let me show you the clip that they are utilizing. It's kind of a similar style to these last three clips we've looked at, but the height here, the space inside, is not going to fit most people's belts, I don't think. It is, just over an inch or so. So it'd be a pretty narrow belt, but it could be done, I guess. But it does the pocket clip or the inside the waistband thing really nicely. Anyway, the Sigurd, you've got a karambit style hook at the back, but a decidedly more straightforward, almost pencil-like profile to the blade inside the sheath. The designer is Dirk Hofmeister. The steel is D2. Blade is about a little bit over 2 inches long. The blade is a little bit on the thicker side if you are evaluating this from like a slicey scalpel-like perspective, which I could see that being the case because that is the profile here. But you want a little extra thickness for that durability in the self-defensive thing. But a very useful blade shape for everyday things. You've got a 1/4 inch hex driver here at the back to kind of amp up the utility. Although I will say, if you're doing that, do it inside the sheath, please. Safety first. But yeah, a lot of jimping around for good traction when you're engaged with the knife, and you've got a pokey bit here for an extra bit of pokiness. All right, next thing we're going to look at is a pocket clip that's on the knife itself, which you see on a folding knife all the time, but rarely on a fixed blade. This is the CIVIVI SOKN, designed by Kyle Lamb. Price on this is about $90 most of the time, and it has a pocket clip here that's designed to work in conjunction with the way the sheath works. Now, it's hard to see because they give you extra options here. You can carry this horizontal on your belt with these snap straps right here, but let's pretend those aren't there for just a minute. You see this hook on the sheath itself? The whole idea there is that can catch the hem of your pocket when you draw the knife. So the handle itself is clipped to the pocket. You reach in, grab the knife, allow it to strike the pocket or strike the hem, and you can pull it free, and then you've got the fixed blade right here ready to go. Another design that works really well for daily utility, just a 2.8 inch blade of Nitro V, thin enough at this type of height to be a little slicier, which is nice, but a decidedly aggressive and tactical handle shape. It works in an inverted grip perfectly. You've got a great place to cap your thumb right here, and it feels really good maneuvering like so. The Modern Hunter by the same company and same designer has a longer blade, kind of a similar thing with the handle going on. I don't remember if it has the clip or not, but it has that same kind of hook on the sheath if you want even more reach. But this one is definitely more pocketable, once you take the straps away, of course. Next up, from Skallywag Tactical, this is the MDV +1 for about 150 bucks, and it has the same kind of concept going on with the sheath, but no clip at all in the handle. This is just going to sit loose in your pocket. You do have this rubber strap or 2 rubber bands essentially around the sheath to help keep it from sliding around too much. They'll kind of grab and keep it in place a little bit. But when you're ready to grab the knife here as well, go under the hook, pull it out, catch your hem, and you've got the knife ready to go. Very aggressive blade shape here, about 3 1/4 inches long. D2 steel chisel ground, compound recurve chisel ground, if we want to be real specific. And why not? We should. A few different colors of this are available as well. has that same kind of cap motion there at the top, but this end pokes me a little bit, so you might want to alter your grip just a little for that. And still a fairly useful shape for just everyday carry types of things as well. You can pick a few different colors if you like to. Next up, I've got another option from CIVIVI, and what they're doing here is essentially just putting a regular pocket clip on the sheath. That's what we got going on right here. Because of that, in this case, it's kind of one-sided. You can't necessarily orient this exactly how you like on the right or left side, so take that under advisement. Although you could remove it and add one of the clip options I told you about earlier. Anyway, this is an Alan Elishewitz design, Marine veteran, I believe. It's an Army Ranger. I can't remember now. Alan, I'm sorry. Combat veteran in any case. This is the Varius, a modular fixed blade. Now the sheath is a little bit larger. I'll compare it here to the Spyderco from earlier. It's narrower but longer, so you know, it can depend on what you need. The cool thing though about the knife here is it comes with two handles. You know, it's set up with this standard grip. Kept nice and slim, however, but you can swap that out for a karambit style ring. Very easy switch over right there. Let me hold it there so you can see the ring a little bit better. So you could execute it that way and have more retention from the ring. The knife itself is 3 3/4 inches long in the blade, D2 steel. Price is about $64 most of the time. Sometimes it's on sale. You might want to check the website right now. Can't confirm or deny anything, but a very slim carrying, effective little daily carry knife that has great kind of tactical potential baked into it. All right, last couple of knives. You got to bring your own pocket attachment if you want to carry it that way. The first is from Kizer. As you can see, it comes with a dots or a slim dots style attachment clip there, but with the slots and rivets in the handle, Ulti-clip will pop onto this no problem. Justin Lundquist design, Dagger style profile right here. Steel is AEBL, which is very tough for a stainless steel. It's very tough for any steel, actually. It's stainless or not. It is quite durable, which is a nice thing when you're dealing with a very acute double-edged tip like this. 3.5 inches long on the blade, slim handles, kind of wasted down a little bit, and you've got some G10 sticking out of the other G10 because it's two pieces nested together to give you kind of thumb pads for a little traction, which is pretty good considering there's no other definitive guard. This also really kind of fills the role of boot knife really nicely, but that's a different video, of course. But yeah, if you're into this kind of design, $65, $66 plus the cost of an Ulti-clip. It's on the wider side, like the Spyderco, but if you've got the big enough pockets for it, very nice option. All right, two more things to kind of wrap things up. We have the Toor knives Jank Shank right here. You will need an Ulti-clip to make this a pocket carry, unless you want to just slip it in the pocket, of course. The Kydex sheath is lined to help prevent scratches and rattles, which is a nice thing. And you've got the option for this Wharncliffe style blade, as well as a more kind of general duty blade with, I believe it's a drop point option for a different sort of use, but both could certainly be pocketable. We've got M4 steel here, nice and thick for durability, but the tip is still very acute on this Wharncliffe blade. Made in the USA, $275 for this knife. M4, another option with a good amount of toughness to support a very thin needle-like tip like that. That is a very good thing. And then we've got G10 handles on this one as well. But a few different flavors are available if you don't quite like this coloration, but they are built exceptionally well across the board. Last but not least, the Tops Knives Papa Delta. Now this is set up as a neck knife, but if you throw an Ulti-clip on here, it's a very good pocket option, especially if you're the kind of person who likes to carry a firearm. If that's your thing, then this could be, there's reasons you might want to choose this knife, and there's reasons you might want to have it in your left side pocket if you're right-handed shooter, because you've got a kind of split away ring right here, but like their Quickie 3-finger karambit, which is another option, it is designed to not only be a self-defensive fixed blade, 1.67 inch double, 1.63 inch to be exact, double-edged blade there. But because it's so kind of narrow and slim, you can use it as sort of a support for other things you might need to be doing at the same time. So that's not going to be for everybody for sure, but even if you want to use this as the only thing you've got, it is very pokey and effective. It would make a dandy box opener as well. Even comes with a whistle. which that could be a deterrent in itself in some cases too. Well, I hope I showed you some good options today if you're looking for kind of a tactical pocket fixed blade. If you want to see some more pocket fixed blades, we've got several videos. Just search KnifeCenter pocket fixed blade in your search bar up there. I'm sure some of them will turn up. But if you want the more aggressive stuff, you can find all of these at the KnifeCenter. Check out the links below or the QR codes that you've been seeing if you're watching this on your TV. Point your phone at that, it'll take you right to KnifeCenter.com. Don't forget about our long-running Knife Rewards program so you can earn some free money on some future purchases or new options at checkout, including Sezzle if you want to break things into smaller payments. I'm David C. Anderson from the KnifeCenter. That's all for now. Signing off. See you next time.